What up, TLR? How you guys doing tonight?
What's up, everybody?
Oh, spring kickoff.
Happy New Year. Can you still say Happy New Year?
Yeah, sure.
We haven't seen you yet.
Yeah,
Happy New Year. What's up, everybody?
Oh, man. Hey, you guys can have a seat. You guys have a seat. Have a seat. Hey, hope you like that little year in review from last year. Man, we had some really exciting moments last year.
Yeah, that was cool.
What was your favorite moment from last year?
It would have been had I won a knockout for those of you that were here, but I got second.
You did.
My favorite moment last year was, I'll tell you, it was the fireworks.
Okay.
Yeah,
fireworks were awesome. The fireworks were awesome.
Cops came.
Yep.
And we offered them Chick-fil-A and they left.
Yeah, the day after the fireworks was not fun for me.
No, oh gosh.
That was a little
Don't
light.
go there. Stop. Don't go there.
But I think my favorite moment had to be the last one with the Apple Watch.
Oh, I forgot
swap.
about that.
That was amazing.
Who was here for that Apple Watch plant swap thing? Chris just eliminated that. Okay, that was.
It was a great moment.
That might have been better than fireworks.
It was a great moment.
I cried. I literally got emotional.
You did.
When she gave up an Apple Watch for a plant. I'm not even sure the plant was real.
Not scripted. It was amazing. It was
Are you here? Whoever gave up the Apple Watch, are you here? There she is. Look at her.
Are you wearing the Apple Watch?
Yeah. Oh, you got the Apple Watch.
Yes.
Good thing.
That's awesome. What about who got the plant?
Huh?
Is she here?
Yeah. Who gave the plant?
Molly.
Is Molly here?
The legend. No, she's not here. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it was a fake plant, so it definitely didn't die.
Okay, that's awesome. Glad you're enjoying the Apple Watch.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's Christmas break. New Year's go great. Yeah, awesome. But we had to do life updates.
Yep, it's been a while.
If this is your first time here, welcome to TLR. We hope to be a home away from home for college students. Oh, she's ready.
Yeah.
We like this place to feel like family. Yep. And so one of the ways we do that is by sharing life updates. We want to hear, we want to celebrate, we want to encourage one another. And so we just sort of open the floor up to anyone who wants to share.
Life update.
Yeah, a life update.
And
so
her hand was up. Like before you even, she was so excited.
Okay, yeah, what you got?
Did you get engaged or something? Oh my gosh,
you
got engaged!
Yeah, show it.
Bro, your excitement was like, I got a ring excitement. I could see it on your face.
All right, ask her the question.
Okay,
you're gonna ask
hey, real quick, what's your name? Hannah. I don't see, well, did you meet your fiance here? Dang it.
Oh, man.
One day I'm still happy for you, sorry. That's exciting. That's amazing. When did you get engaged? The 29th.
29th.
That's
Congratulations.
Amazing. Man, so it's fresh.
That's
Congratulations.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Do you have a date yet? That's okay. I just wanted to ask that because it's probably annoying that you've already been asked that a million times. Congratulations.
All right, anyone else have any life update? Yeah, come on.
Oh, no.
Wait, we also got engaged.
Oh, she's right. Why aren't y'all sitting next to each other? What in the world? She's like, yeah, we right there. We got engaged. That's amazing. First off, that's incredible. Can we give it up one time? Now, they're both here. So
high probability.
Higher probability that. Did you guys meet at the living room?
He built it up though. He built it up like, no.
It's gonna happen one day, I think.
Congratulations.
Because it'll be the greatest commercial for the living room ever.
Yeah.
When did y'all get engaged? October 5th. Amazing. Congratulations. Do y'all have a date yet? Oh wait, are you asking? Already starting off on the wrong foot. All right. No, that's awesome. Congrats. That's
Congratulations. All right. Come on, let's keep it rolling.
Okay. Nicole's got one. Amazing.
Wow.
Full-time job at a law firm.
That's an important connection.
That is an important connection to have. Hopefully I never need you, but you never know.
Yeah, for some of you.
Yes.
Might be a really important
Or
connection.
any of us, bro. I mean, I'll take a lawyer.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, right there.
All right, come on.
A massive grant?
Grant?
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow. Well done.
So, like for research, or what's the grant for? That's even better. Yeah. That's awesome. How do I get one of those?
Seriously.
I'd love a grant. Does Woodstock City do those? That'd be fantastic. That's awesome. Congrats.
That's awesome.
Do good with it. Research something or whatever. I'm just kidding. All right, Ben, I don't know how much time we got.
All right. Let's do one more, two more.
Okay, two more.
All right, go ahead.
You applied to the nursing program.
That's
amazing.
Feeling good? You feeling good about the program?
No. Oh, hey, be more confident. Come on.
Next life update. Yeah, we're gonna be praying that you get that nurse thing.
Fun fact: we used to do like 7 years ago when I first started. We used to do the living room in Perlman Hall occasionally, because UV rooms would do like a blood drive or something. We couldn't use it. I know. This man said, "Wow." Okay. One more right there.
Awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
Georgia won the national championship.
What a one to end on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good man.
Yeah, for us that means
That's
a
huge.
lot.
Yeah, Ben and I went. We went to school there.
So
That was
yeah, long
special.
time coming. Yeah,
Special.
we were
Special.
pumped. We were
Yeah.
pumped. All right,
awesome.
here's the deal. So you had a quick life update for you.
We had a baby. Yep. January 4th, Zara Elizabeth Massad was born. So
That's awesome,
I'm
man.
a girl dad through and through. That's girl number 3. So
Love it.
Yeah, it was fun. It's
Yeah.
been crazy, but it's been awesome.
Yeah, I've heard that 1 kid it's like zone coverage, 2 it's man to man, 3 you're just
3
over-
years. Yeah, 3
overman-
is.
you're overrun.
Yeah, you have.
So, sorry.
That's actually more zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Awesome. Well, you didn't ask, but my life update.
Ben, what's your life update?
My life update is, it's not really anything special. I don't know if you guys set New Year's resolutions. Anyone set New Year's resolutions?
Yeah,
no?
I had a newborn though, so my New Year hasn't started yet.
Yeah. But my life update is really just that I want to go to sleep better.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have been.
Have
so
you? Okay, cool.
I've consistently gone
Wow.
to sleep better over. Yeah,
Really exciting,
that's it.
man.
That's it.
You
But
got 10 people to clap for
that
you.
was an easy transition into what we're doing next. Which does anyone have a New Year's resolution of just exercise? I feel like exercise.
Yeah,
is
that's a
really
big one.
fun
You wanna exercise
yeah.
more?
Yeah. Okay. And here's the deal. I also need someone to come up. If you're here with your best friend, I need you to come up here for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
yeah,
here
I
with
need
their
you-
best friend?
Best friend. Okay.
Like,
All right.
You pick, bro.
Yeah, you two. Yeah, you guys. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I
come
like
on
it.
stage,
I was
come on
gonna
stage.
pick y'all, honestly. I really was. But I'm sorry.
All right, come on up, fellas.
Come on up. How
Come on
long
up.
have y'all been friends? 7 years? That's
7
pretty
years.
good.
Wow.
I bet you these guys just met each other.
We're going on 30. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, 30. Man, we've been friends a long time.
We have been friends a
Wow.
long time. We should probably be doing this. Okay.
That'd be amazing.
All right, let's get to know these guys real quick. What's
Yeah.
your name?
Lamicio.
Lamicio.
You can just call me Rico.
Rico. Perfect. Thank you.
But hang on, what
I completely butchered
Yeah,
it.
you did. But I need to hear
I'm
it
sorry.
again though. Do it again.
I'm sorry.
Lamicio.
Lamicio.
But we're
Okay.
gonna call you Rico.
Rico.
Okay.
Thank
cool.
you, Rico.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Miles.
Miles. All right.
Awesome.
Um,
How long you guys been friends?
About 14, 15 years.
Oh, this is good. This
gonna
is
be
good.
good. All right.
One of my best friends' name was Miles as well. So
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
great. We've been on him for years.
Yep. So here's the deal, guys. I just realized.
Oh,
Okay,
my man in
so,
flip-flops.
Let's do this. So
Maybe take them off.
yeah, we'll make it work. So here's the deal. Some people set New Year's resolutions. I don't know how I feel about that. I did set one, but working out is typically one that people set in New Year's. So we thought we'd give you guys an opportunity to do that New Year's resolution tonight. And we want to see how well you guys know each other as best friends. So if you guys could just, why don't you guys step on these treadmills that convenentely
Miles, if
showed
you want
up
to take
here.
your foot, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, go
but-
ahead and take off that. Take off. Yeah, if it's.
Oh, he's
gonna
taking
be
off the
easier
boots
for
too.
you.
Okay.
Okay.
Are those Uggs?
Are those Uggs?
Yes, sir.
My man.
Oh, wow.
Those are all. I want some. That'd be
Man,
cool.
Tom Brady over here. Okay.
Trade you.
Does Tom Brady wear Uggs?
I don't know where that came from. Ben, but-
Okay. I feel like
love-
I've
I
seen it on
don't
a
know.
commercial. All right, here's the deal. This is a little treadmill trivia. We have some best friend trivia for you guys. We just want to see how well you guys know each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to start in a second. You got just a nice brisk walk. Actually, let's go ahead and do it right now. Let's
You just press the
see.
2.
I think we press start. Yeah, press start. And then, we'll do 2.
Do 2.
Yeah, just a nice brisk walk.
There
And
you
what
go.
we're going to
Should
do
start.
is we've got 5. You got it? You
think
got it over
so.
there? Yeah. Yeah. Did you press 2? Okay. You can also
There we go. We're good.
you can also press the number.
Yeah,
2.
I missed
Okay.
that. But it
All
was
right,
way
cool,
more
we're good.
dramatic to hear.
So here's the deal. We've got 5 questions for each of you, and I'm going to ask you a question about Miles. About Miles. And if you get it right, then we're going to bump up the speed on Miles' treadmill. If you get it wrong, I'm bumping up the speed on your treadmill. Okay? And we're just going to go back and forth and see who knows each other well.
14 years of
Better.
friendship put to the test.
Yeah. So, you guys ready? Sam, you want to kick us off?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Which are they the?
Either
which,
one.
Which column should I do?
Either one.
I'll do
You
the
choose
first
one.
column on the left. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Miles. When is Rico's birthday?
May 14th.
May.
What?
Okay.
Oh, all right,
Rico.
Okay. All right, so here we go. So we're going to bump you up just a little bit.
Are we doing one
Okay.
every? Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll start off with
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, Rico.
He's about to start sweating, right?
Hope you guys put on deodorant this morning. All right. Rico, what is Miles' mom's name?
Nicole.
Nicole, is that correct?
Correct.
All
All
right.
right, there we go. They're going to get harder, I promise.
Yeah. But I had 14 years of friendship. Y'all should be able to answer all these.
Yeah.
All right. What is Rico's favorite Netflix show? That's tough.
He doesn't watch Netflix.
Oh man, he doesn't watch Netflix. Wow. Okay.
All right, here we go. All right.
You guys
here we
really
go.
are
That's a 4.
friends.
How you feeling, Rico?
All right.
All right, you get to go a jog. Let's go. All right.
He's
All
got a light jog going.
Hey, yeah,
He's at that awkward thing where like you
Yeah,
try
it's
to
like,
run,
do
but
I-
you're not. You know, it's like,
yeah,
I
it's
gotta
like a
hurry.
gallop. All right, here we go, Rico. All right. What is Miles's major?
He changed it.
You gotta know it.
Come on now.
Accounting?
Nope.
Oh!
He just changed it. So
What,
Oh,
was
you
it
just
accounting?
changed it.
It wasn't accounting though, bro. Oh.
It's business management now.
He said-
All right, here we
All
go.
right.
Here we go.
Sorry,
There we
Rico. Hey, at least it was in the same general. Had you said like psychology, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, Miles, is Rico a beach or a mountains kind of guy?
Mountains, never went to the beach.
yes.
All right.
Wow.
Here we go, Rico.
Miles, I'm really impressed with his answers, bro. Like, there's no tricks
All right.
here.
All right, Rico.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right.
That's what
Rico. Would Miles prefer to go out or stay in?
I would say go out.
Go out.
Correct?
All right.
All
All
right,
right. Here
we're
we
gonna
go.
bump you up. Miles, let's go. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. He's got his hands in his pocket.
No, he's good. Look at him. He's got his hands in his
He
pockets.
said, I'm trying not to run. Poor Rico.
Burning calories, man. All right.
All right. Is it me?
Yep.
Okay, Miles. Is Rico a tea or a coffee kind of guy?
Doesn't drink neither.
Doesn't drink neither.
Yes.
I love that Miles
Rico,
is
I
like
love
looking
how honest
past
you're
the
being
question.
right now. Gosh, I love how honest you're being. All right, Rico. Is Miles an early bird or a night owl?
Night owl.
Correct?
All right.
Here we go. Yeah, bump it up, man.
There
Bump
we
it up.
go. Okay. This is an open-ended one here. What is Rico's biggest pet peeve?
Ooh. There's a lot. I'm guessing smacking.
Smack him?
Yeah, that is one for sure.
Is
Yeah,
that
that
would
is
you
one-
consider
is that
that
the biggest one though?
To me, I don't really have like.
Dude,
the
you can
biggest
lie
one.
here and make him run faster.
No, that's not right.
Yeah, all right, hear it right, hear it right. All right.
That's jacked up, man, but okay. Whatever, I'll get you to 6.
All right.
Yeah, we're almost done. Let's go 6.5. All right.
All right, here we go. All right, last one, Rico. All right, what is Miles's go-to karaoke song?
He don't really do karaoke.
That's right.
Bump it
Sorry,
up.
Miles.
All
Get you
right.
to-
Oh man.
How does this end? Do we just let him run for a second? Or
What?
like,
Yeah. I think
yeah.
we just.
Hey, what y'all think? Was that kind of fun?
Yeah. We should just let him run.
Hey, for real though, they're in sweatshirts.
Yeah. Hey, you
Hey,
guys,
give it up
thanks
one
for
time for
playing.
Miles and Rico.
Thanks for playing. Thanks for having fun with us, Rico. You're the man. Thank you,
That's
Miles.
awesome.
Hey, you guys know each other pretty well.
Yes.
I'm pretty. Hey,
Sorry, bro.
Did you just press stop? Just press stop.
I did. It's like going slow. Sorry,
Oh,
Miles.
man.
Hey, what do we got something for him?
Yeah. No, it's backstage. I got you.
I'll get him.
Yeah.
I got him.
No, it
Like
might not
really
be backstage. Yeah.
I
Like
don't got him.
backstage.
Hey, we got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah. Hey, we got you. Hey, you guys get it up for Rico. and
One
Miles,
time for
man.
15
There
years
we
of
go, Miles.
friendship. You
Gotta put
might
shoes
not
back
find
on.
a spouse here, but you can make a friend like that in
Hey.
the living room. What?
Man, I was impressed how well
I
they
know.
handled
Especially
that
Miles.
really well.
I mean, both of y'all, but Miles was like, he wasn't tricked by anything.
No, he was good. He was
Yeah.
good.
Anyways.
Oh man. Well, hey, we
that's
like to
awesome.
have some fun here at the living
Yeah.
room, and
Hey,
yeah,
we're
kick us off.
Really glad
Happy
that
New
you guys
Year.
are here, and maybe here for the first time. My name's Samer. This has been, and we're really grateful that you guys are hanging out with us, spending some time with us to kick off a brand new year. And if it is your first time, one thing that's just the heartbeat of this place is more than anything, we want this place to be a home away from home for you. We know that during college, during the season that you're in, you're just trying to make it. You're going from apartment to apartment, Starbucks to Starbucks, like you're a nomad. And more than ever in your life before, you need a place that you can call home, a place that you can belong. And I don't know what your preconceived notion of church is, but we want you to know everything about this place is that you belong here. And so we're really grateful that you're with us, and it's great to see you guys.
Yeah, and one of the things that, I miss most since, last time we met was December 1st, so it's been a while.
Wow.
But one of the things I love so much about what we do week in and week out on Wednesday nights is we get to worship and sing together. And so we're about to do that right now with Clay and Lauren and Adeline. So if you guys would, just stand up, say hey to someone around you, tell them Happy New Year, and let's sing together.
Lost, but he brought me good to be back. Feels good to be reminded that we're His children. He's never going to leave us or forsake us. There's a grace when the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in, come on, sing it. Standing next, there was another in love. Should I ever need, if I were been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden, where another died for me. There is another in the fire. Cross bared the whole burden, all of it on His shoulders. He took it away. All my debt left for dead beneath the water. I'm no longer a slave to my sin anymore. But even if should I fall in the space between what remains of me and this reckoning, either way I won't bow to the things of this world. And I know I will never be alone. There is another in the fire, standing next to me. There is another in the waters, holding back the seas. Should I ever need reminding what power set me free? There is a grave that holds nobody. Now that power lives in me. There is another in the fire. Oh, there is another in the fire. Oh, there is another in the fire. There is another in the fire. And I can see the light in the darkness, as the darkness bows to Him. I can hear the roar in the heavens, as the space between resting. I can feel the light shake beneath us, as the prison walls cave in. Nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. Nothing stands between us. Yeah. I believe this with my whole heart. There is no other name but the name that is Jesus. He who was and still is and will be through it all. So come remain in the space between all the things unseen and this reckoning. And I know I will never be alone. Sing it like you mean it. I know I will never be alone. There'll be another in the fire, standing next to me.
Hey, before we move on from that moment, what an odd thing to say, right? To count the joy in the battle, to count the joy in the struggle, to count the joy in the depression and the anxiety and the misunderstanding and the confusion and the unknown, to count it joy. It's a pretty bold thing to do, and it's a pretty audacious thing to do, and for some of us in this room, it might feel like an impossible thing to do. But I think as we start off another semester and a fresh semester with fresh opportunity, both for failures and successes, why not start off the semester with a fresh opportunity to say, I'm going to put my whole trust in you. And I'm gonna count it as joy, not because it's joyful, but because you're gonna see me through. You're gonna deliver me from things. You're gonna show me new sides of you that I haven't seen before. So the joy isn't in the circumstance. The joy is in knowing that my Father calls me his own and that he's with me in the middle of it. So if you've got something in your heart that you need to sing about right now, and name that and say, I'm gonna count this as joy because you're with me. How good you've been to me. Let's do that one last time. I count the joy. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be. One more. I count the joy come every battle, 'cause I know that's where you'll be.
Why did I waste so much time
toward us. He's done it before. He will do it again. We can rest in that. We can trust that. We sing, you made. You made a way out of deserts and rivers. You made a way out of bondage and darkness. You made a way out of deserts and rivers. You made a way out of bondage, and He'll do it right now for you. You're making a way out of deserts and rivers. You're making a way out of bondage and darkness. You're making a way out of deserts and rivers. You're making a way. Yes, you're making a way. If I know one day our God is a deliverer, if I know one thing, God is gonna see us through. If I know one day our God is a deliverer, if I know one thing, our God is gonna see us, He'll see us through. Father, I'm thankful tonight for the start of something new, the new year together, a chance to see you work in a new way. And I'm grateful that if we look back, we can see that you've been faithful. You don't just ask us to trust you just because. You have proven yourself time and time and time again. And it's because of that that we can trust you in the future, in the circumstances that we're in right now that seem hard, that we can't find a way out of. We can trust that you are who you've been. You'll always be that way, and that your heart is always towards us, always for us. We thank you for being good and kind. And I'm thankful for my friends here. I pray this all in your name. Amen. Love y'all. Y'all can have a seat.
Well, hey, good to see you guys. Hey, everybody, what's up? Hey, we've never met. Again, my name is Samer, and I get to serve here as lead pastor at Woodstock City, but TLR have a special place in my heart because I got to lead the living room for the longest time, and so excited that they asked me to come kick this semester off. So great to be with you guys as we kick off a brand new series called This Hits Different. I could go around the room and ask a bunch of you what that might be for you. I might ask you, so be thinking about it. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna ask you or not, but I've got a couple things for me that just hit different. One of them, and I can't do it as much anymore because whether I want to admit it or not, I'm getting older, but like Taco Bell at like 11:30 at night, you know what I'm saying? Like by 1 a.m. you hate it, but it hits different right at 11:30, like a supreme like crunchy gordita, what is it? Gordita Crunch? Whatever, the one with both, the soft and the hard taco or the cinnamon twists, let's get it. Hit different. An old man nap on the couch where you like wake up and for a second you don't know where you are. You know what I mean? Like those just hits different. I might be in the minority here, but I love having meals on an airplane. I just do. There's something about that, yeah, you can judge me. I think they're awesome, not because the food's awesome. There's something that it just hits different eating on an airplane. I just love it. And the roll that's way stale, but I eat it. Or you open it up, you know, like it's like a little fruit roll up, but it's a piece of bread. How about this one? We talked about this earlier, but it hits different whenever your hometown teams win a national championship after decades-long drought. The Braves, 26, 25 years, and you UGA 41 years in the same season. In the same season. That's not supposed to happen to the state of Georgia, but it did, you know, like that's awesome. That my man, it does. Thank you, it absolutely does. Here's one, okay? Publix commercials during the holidays. Bro, especially when you have kids, but even if you don't, they just hit different. It makes me want to shop at Publix, even though it's more expensive than Kroger. But love it, shopping really is a pleasure there. They just hit different. Saying I could go around the circle and things that unexpectedly just kind of hit different. And let me just take you immediately where we're going for the next few weeks of this series. When you get a clear picture of who Jesus actually is, it hits different. That when you get a clear picture of who Jesus really is, when you get a clear picture of his heart, when you get a clear picture of his intention, when you get a clear picture of who he is and who he came to be, it just hits different. That no matter what you're walking in with today, whether you're somebody walking in, you're exploring faith, you're not a person of faith, or you've been following Jesus for quite some time, no matter where you are on that faith spectrum, when you get a clear picture of who Jesus is, when you get a clear understanding of his heart for you and his heart for me and his heart for the world, it just hits different. It hits your heart different. It hits your mind different. It hits your soul different. And your life and your faith will never be the same. And so what we're going to do over the next few weeks of the series is we're going to be looking at a few specific interactions that are recorded for us in the Gospels and the New Testament, where Jesus interacts with different people. And in these interactions, we learn about the heart of Jesus. We learn about the character of Jesus. We learn about why he came and why we think Jesus is a really, really big deal. And here's why I'm so excited about this series is because if you're unsure about faith or maybe you didn't grow up going to church and maybe you had a weird church experience, or if we're just being real, maybe you kind of thought like, or think, not offended at all, just don't raise your hand and yell at me, like Christians are just kind of weird, or this whole invisible faith thing is weird, or like during worship, why are people raising their hands? Like, is there a question? Like what exactly is going on? Why is all of this that big of a deal? Well, I'm so excited for you to be here because it's all a big deal for one reason and one reason only, and it's because of Jesus, because of what we think about Jesus and who we believe him to be. And if you are a Jesus follower in the room and you're just kind of like, oh, cool, yeah, I know who Jesus is, can I just tell you, even if you are a Jesus follower, and this is true for me, I've been following Jesus for, I don't know, I have to go back and count. How old am I? I'm not gonna tell you. But it's been, I don't know, probably at least 20 years I've been following Jesus. Every single year, there's something new that I learned about Jesus. Even last year, I read a book that just rocked my world. It's called Gentle and Lowly. And here I am, like I'm a professional Christian, and I'm just getting re-hit with who Jesus really is. And it changes everything. Changes everything for you and for me. So a question I think is worth asking. Who is Jesus to you? Like, what is your preconceived notion of who Jesus is? And if you're a Jesus follower, here's an interesting question. Ready? In your most difficult moments, or in the moments when you're kind of most ashamed of yourself, who is Jesus to you? In your darkest moments, who is Jesus to you? For those of you on the outside of faith, who is Jesus to you? Like for some of us, when we think of who Jesus is, a mental picture that comes into our mind is like some kind of like law keeper or like a big old rule book. And Jesus is just somebody that's all about keeping the rules and making sure we are staying in line. And faith is just something that kind of keeps us in line. And I just got to follow the rules. And if I don't, there will be consequences. Or maybe another image that might come to mind is like a lawyer that writes up a contract. A contract is you keep up your end of the deal, and if you don't, then you don't get this. Or if you do keep up your end of the deal, then you do get this. You do all these things, you get to heaven. You don't do all these things, you don't get to heaven. You do these things, your life will be okay. You don't do these things, then life won't be okay for you. Or maybe your picture of Jesus, and even if it's not all the time, maybe even just at times, is that of like a parent that punishes their kid. All right, anyone get spanked? Anyone ever get spanked with a wooden spoon? Yeah, well, who was that, Frank? Oh, okay. We're trying to figure out how to discipline our kids, and it's really hard, and especially when girls have me wrapped around their finger. Like Harper gives me this face, and I'm like, I wasn't even mean, but I feel terrible. But like a little wooden spoon, like you're just gonna get spanked or whatever that timeout situation was for you, like that Jesus is like this parent looking over your shoulder, waiting for you to mess up, waiting for you to do something wrong, waiting for you to party, waiting for you to go too far with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, waiting for you to cheat, waiting for you to drink too much, waiting for you to do this, whatever that thing is that you did, and then suddenly it's like, okay, Jesus is peering over my shoulder, and I'm going to be punished. That this thing went wrong in my life, and it had to be because Jesus is punishing me for something that I did. Or maybe your kind of mental image of Jesus, you know those little stuffed animal looking backpack things that they put on demon-possessed kids to keep them from running away? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Y'all ever worn one? Anybody? You remember? Yeah, okay. But they're like little backpacks, but they're leashes because they like snap in. Now you can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, and for some of you, that's what it is. That's what it feels like following Jesus. That it's just someone that is restricting your freedom, telling you what not to do, where not to go, ripping you off from enjoying the good life, ripping you off from experiencing college the way that it should be experienced. Every time you try to turn right, Jesus wants to pull you left. And every time you try to turn left, Jesus wants to pull you right. And you just kind of feel confined and restricted. Maybe that's the mental image that you have of Jesus. Or maybe for some of you, who Jesus is to you, and this is just as dangerous as any of them. It's kind of the opposite side of it. You use faith as a weapon. That for some of you, your faith and your belief system is the thing that kind of gets you to go after people. It's the baseline that you use to give your opinions on social media in a way that is not loving or constructive or helpful. It's you going at and judging your roommates or your brother or your sister or your parents or someone that you don't even know because you're just kind of on this high horse. It's almost like Jesus is like strapping you on with this UFC glove, and it's like, oh, you said a cuss word? I'm gonna punch you in the throat. You know, it's like this. It puts you in a position of superiority. Because that's what your picture of Jesus is. Yeah, okay, perfect Son of God, knows no sin. So that's who I need to be to the world. Or name your picture of Jesus. But if you have a distorted view of Jesus, you are never going to experience the full life that he came to offer you. And if you have a distorted view of Jesus, you're never going to be able to fully join in on the mission that he's invited all of us into. And if you have a distorted view of Jesus, faith is never going to be the thing that changes your life for the better. In fact, if you have a distorted view of Jesus, you've put your faith in the wrong thing. So, for the next few weeks, starting tonight, that hits different. Who Jesus really is. And as we look at some of these interactions that are recorded for us in the Gospels, that in the moment, like those people who experienced what happened, for some of these stories, they're gonna be pretty normal for some of you. Like you would have heard them growing up before, or you've heard them in church before. Can I just tell you, I'm believing that God can take a story that you've heard a couple times and show you something new. Like I'm believing that if you grew up in church and you've heard some of these stories, I'm believing that there's a new thing for you to take out of these for your heart. But these interactions where Jesus had with these people in that moment and in the first century, it would have been like, oh my gosh, this hits different. This rabbi is just different. And the first one that I want to jump into tonight is when Jesus calls one of his earliest disciples, recorded for us in Matthew chapter 9. And so we're going to jump there. If you have your Bibles, you can turn there. Matthew chapter 9. Matthew is the first book in your New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is the order. So if you see Mark, just go back one. But we're going to jump into Matthew chapter 9, starting in verse 9. Verse 9. So here Jesus is walking with some of his disciples, and as Jesus went on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax collector's booth. Really, really important detail. Matthew is a tax collector. That matters because in the New Testament, in the Gospels, if you were a tax collector, you were your own category of bad. In fact, oftentimes in the Gospels, you hear, and we're going to see this just a little bit later in the story, that Jesus was hanging out with tax collectors and sinners. Like they were so bad, they had their own category of bad. And the reason why they had their own category of bad is because here's what a tax collector was. They were Jewish people that collected taxes from their own Jewish people for Rome. okay? So they were backed by the power of Rome. But because they were backed by the power of Rome, nobody could tell them how much to collect. So what these tax collectors would do is they would collect more taxes from their own people than they actually needed so they could pay Rome and pocket the rest. And nobody could tell them not to because they were backed by the power of Rome. So they were sellouts of the worst kind. They were getting rich off of their own people. They cheated their own people. They were liars. They had, it was like racketeering. Like they were the worst of the worst, so bad that it was like, no, we can't even lump them into sinners. They're their own category of sinner. They are tax collectors. If you saw a tax collector in the first century, and you were a person of faith, or you were a Pharisee, or whatever, you judged them. If you were a rabbi, you're thinking, how dare you? If only your mom knew who you became. They were just the worst of the worst, sellouts of the worst kind. And to be a rabbi, talk about polar opposites, to be a rabbi was the most respected thing that you could do in first century Judaism. Even today in Jewish culture, but to be a rabbi, like you were one of the most esteemed people in the culture if you're a rabbi. Like if you are a parent and you have a son, you want them to be a rabbi one day. Like it's a huge deal. In fact, to be invited to follow a rabbi and be a disciple of a rabbi was a really big deal. It was like for the elite of the elite, like being a rabbi or being the disciple of a rabbi was kind of like going to Harvard. Like it was kind of like the Ivy League kind of thing. It was a huge deal, respected. So you've got Jesus the rabbi, Matthew, the tax collector, comes up to the tax collector booth, and this is what Jesus says: follow me. Follow me. And then maybe even more bizarre, Matthew got up and he followed him. Now you got to understand what Jesus was inviting him into. Jesus was not inviting Matthew into hey man, let's stroll down, get a Starbucks, and then just kind of, get to know each other and then go our separate ways. I'll see you on the gram later. No. Jesus was inviting Matthew into intimate relationship. He didn't say, follow me and let's see where this goes. He said, hey, come follow me. Come be one of my disciples. Come learn how I do life. Come emulate your life with me. Come literally follow in my footsteps day in and day out. What Jesus was saying with this invitation was, I'm going to closely associate myself with you, and you are going to be closely associated with me. Come follow me. Come be on the inside with me. Come be one of my selected few. And maybe what stands out in some ways even more than what Jesus did say. That's what he didn't say. Jesus didn't say, hey, Matthew, get yourself right, then come follow me. He didn't say, hey, Matthew, all that money that you stole, give all the money back, then come follow me. He didn't say, hey, listen, you need to get your character right, and you need to do some hard work, and you need to figure out how in the world you're gonna get yourself right and fix all the wrongs and fix your reputation amongst all of the Jewish community. You need to do all of that. Then, and only then, come follow me. No. He looked at Matthew as he was. He looked at Matthew right in the midst. He's literally at the booth. He literally is catching him in the wrongdoing, and in the midst of that, he says, hey, come follow me. And then, where does they go next? Well, the text tells us, Matthew tells us that they go to Matthew's house. So come follow me. And the disciples, I wish I could see the disciples' faces in this moment. They would have been so uncomfortable. Maybe even annoyed, Jesus, are we doing this again? We're gonna get looks. Why are we going? Why are we inviting Matthew? He literally stole taxes from you. I wish I could see their faces and experience the emotion they were feeling. Because not only did he invite him to follow, but then while Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, many tax collectors and sinners came and ate with him and his disciples. So it's not even, hey, come follow me. Sharing a meal with somebody was a really intimate thing. This was not something that you just did with anybody. Even if you're the most extrovert of all extroverts, inviting somebody over that you don't really know to have a meal with you, that's kind of an intimate thing. you know? And maybe even more intimate, like you're not gonna just invite like a random person, like let's say you just met a new friend and like, oh, hey, we're whatever. You're not gonna say, we just met, do you wanna come have lunch in my apartment? It's kind of weird because there's an intimacy there, like coming into my space, into my home and sharing a meal together. What are we gonna talk about? You know? Like I don't, what, it's kind of weird. It's intimate. And so here's Jesus saying, we're gonna dine together. We're gonna share a meal together. In fact, in the first century, you could study the kind of the culture. This is what the culture would have been. To share a meal is to share a life. That's what a rabbi, that's what Jewish people would have, how they lived their life. That was the code. To share a meal is to share a life. Like that's how intimate it was to share a meal with somebody. So here's Jesus saying, hey, I'm gonna share my life with you. Not only you, Matthew, but get on your group text and get all the other tax collectors and sinners that you know to come hang out. It's like Jesus was like, yeah, no, just one of you isn't enough. I want to hang out with all of the crew. And here's what's crazy. They all came. They knew who Jesus was. They had heard about this rabbi. At the very least, they knew he was a rabbi. And they all came. Hold on to that thought. And then, when the Pharisees, the religious elitists of the day, when the Pharisees saw this, they asked Jesus' disciples. It's almost like, I don't know if maybe they didn't think Jesus would hear them. I don't know if like maybe Jesus was in another room. I don't know what was going on. But they asked his disciples, why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? I don't know if they were trying to make the disciples feel bad, but they asked this question. But I don't really mean it as a question. It was actually an indictment disguised as a question. It's like when I walk out of my room to get ready to go to work and my wife Julie says, is that what you're wearing? And I'm like, not anymore, She's not genuinely curious about the question, about what she isn't really asking me. She's telling me, nah, don't like it. So they're not actually asking, why does he eat with them? It's an indictment of, I can't believe that your teacher, the one that you follow, I can't believe that he associates with them. I cannot believe that he would dine with them. I cannot believe that he would build a relationship with them. I cannot believe that he is reaching out to them. I cannot believe that he is spending time with them. To share a meal is to share a life. I cannot believe he is sharing any of his life with them. And then Jesus, whether he overheard because he had ears like us because he was human, or he overheard because he's God and he can hear whatever he wants. He goes on, and Matthew tells us on hearing this, on Jesus hearing what they said, Jesus said to them, this is so, you gotta remember, like Matthew and all of his friends are in the room when Jesus said this. It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. You think Matthew was like, bro, will you chill? Why are you calling us sick? I invited them over, be chill, be chill, be chill. And then Jesus says this, he says to the Pharisees, but go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. For I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. And again, in front of Matthew, in front of all of his friends, hey, I didn't come for you. I came for the sinners, the ones that I'm hanging out with. And here's the irony. The Pharisees fell into this category. They just didn't know it. He says, I desire mercy, not sacrifice. What does he mean by that? That the Pharisees, they were really, really good at offering sacrifices for their sin. That's what you had to do in Judaism before Jesus came to be the ultimate sacrifice. You had to sacrifice animals, like blood had to be shed for the forgiveness of your sins. And so whenever there was sin, you would go and you'd give your sacrifice to the temple, and then your sins would be forgiven. And so with Jesus saying, hey, listen, you're great at doing this whole religion thing, you getting right with God. But I desire mercy, I desire compassion. I'm not interested in you just being good at religion. I want you to reflect the heart of God in your relationships. I don't desire just fake sacrifice, empty sacrifice in the name of religion. If you're going to fail, to show compassion and mercy to people. And then Jesus saying, I didn't even come to call the righteous. He's being sarcastic. because the Pharisees thought they were righteous. But the irony is that nobody is right on their own. Nobody can be right enough to live in a relationship with God on their own. Jesus said, no, I've come for those that know something's missing. I came for those that are willing to admit they're sinners, that have a problem that they can't fix on their own. That the Pharisees wanted to put an emphasis on religion. And Jesus said, no, I've come to introduce something totally brand new. I'm going to put the emphasis on relationship. The Pharisees were all tied up in legalism. And Jesus said, no. I'm not coming to do that. This isn't a game of Simon Says. I've come to put the emphasis on love and having that do the heavy lifting. The Pharisees were interested in the outward appearance, how you looked to the world, regardless of what was going on the inside. And Jesus said, no. I'm going to see beyond the outer shell. I'm going to see beyond the lack of authenticity. I'm interested in the heart. Pharisees put an emphasis on ritual. And Jesus was like, I'm not interested in your empty ritual. No. We serve a God of compassion who sees people as people. So here we have this moment, I think a pretty pivotal moment in the eyes of everybody watching, where Jesus is putting his stake in the ground for what he's going to be about. Maybe said differently, who he's going to be about. Not the person that thinks they've got it all figured out, not the person that has it all together. No, quite the opposite. Obviously the one that doesn't. In fact, the perfect candidate in this moment that Jesus is telling us to follow him is not somebody that thinks they have it all together, but knows that they don't. So a couple observations out of this text. And the first is a fascinating one. People who were nothing like Jesus loved being around Jesus. Like people that they were nothing like him, people that did not keep the law, the ones that the sinners, the ones that were the tax collectors, like y'all are not supposed to roll together. They could not get enough of Jesus. Oftentimes, multiple times, I should go count throughout the Gospels how many times sinners and tax collectors are sitting there listening to Jesus, and then the Pharisees come rolling in. People that are nothing like him couldn't get enough of him. Can I ask you a question if you're a Jesus follower in the room? Is this true of you? Is this true of me? Like, who are you not associating with because you've got the wrong filter on? Who are you not inviting in because you've got the filter of the Pharisees and not the filter of Jesus? Remember, Jesus said, I have come to call. I have come to call not the righteous, not the ones that think they're healthy, but the ones that know they're not. Are you joining in on the call? Am I joining in on the call? Like, who are you building relationships with to model the heart of Jesus? Who are you investing in to model and reflect the heart of Jesus? There's no secret in the world that we live in, especially today, especially seemingly for a number of different reasons we don't have time to get into. In the past couple of years, the greater kind of population, the reputation of Christians isn't, oh yeah, everything's better when they're around. But man, that wasn't true when Jesus was here. And we are his reflection. And the only way we can change that reputation is one relationship at a time, one interaction at a time, one person at a time. But if it doesn't start with you and with me, then it doesn't matter whatever happens on a stage or whatever happens in church, because they're not even going to get here to begin with. This has to be true of us. And I'm telling you, just like people in the first century that are having these experiences with Jesus thinking, man, this is just different. May it be said of anybody that interacts with Jesus followers in this room, man, that was just different. That just hit different. That's not what I thought of when I thought of Christian. There's something different about their heart. different about the way that they loved, different about the kindness that they extended. The patience was different. The way they talked about me, the way they took an interest in my life was just different. The second big thing that I want to pull out of this text that I think is worth you and I wrestling with is there are two messages going on here. And the first is the Pharisees' message. And the Pharisees' message was this: change and you can join us. Follow the law, get it right, clean it up, and then you can join us. But the message of Jesus was radically different. Follow me and you will change. Figure it out, change, get your stuff right, then you can join us, then you can belong, and then you can be a part of the Pharisee group, and then you will be a good Jewish person, and you will be right in line with God. But the message of Jesus was radically different. It wasn't change so that you can be a part. It wasn't change so you can follow. No. It was if you follow me, you will change. If you surrender your life and follow in my way, in my footsteps, you will change. Like if you get close enough, you will change. If you surrender your will, you will change. If you put on a lens or a filter, or at least be willing to ask that maybe what I want for myself isn't what is actually best for me, but maybe this guy named Jesus was onto something, you will change. If you allow yourself to continue to be curious about Jesus, you will change. You know this. Your closest relationships, they change you. Your healthiest relationships grow you and challenge you and allow you to see different perspectives. And the closer we get to following Jesus, it's inevitable. It rubs off in the best possible way. It's why I love our mission statement of our church. You know what we want to do? We want to inspire people to follow Jesus, period. To actually follow him. Like it's an action. This is how I'm living my life. Following Jesus isn't a belief statement. Following Jesus is this is how I live my life statement. And Jesus saying, listen, if you will follow, if you will give it a chance, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard, even when you're unsure, even if you've got doubts, you follow me close enough and you will change. It's why he looked at Matthew in the midst of his junk, in the midst of his mess, in the midst of his sin, and he saw right through all of that. He saw something in Matthew that nobody else saw. And that Matthew is the one that wrote the Gospel of Matthew. One of the most influential people in my life is our senior pastor, Andy Stanley. And he dropped this line when I was in college. And I've never forgotten it. Outside of my family, no one's influenced me in my life and my faith more than him. And he said this thing, and it reverberates in my mind constantly, especially when I read about Jesus in the Gospels. And this is what Andy said. He said, change, this is so brilliant. Change is not a prerequisite to following Jesus. Change is a result of following Jesus. In college, y'all get prerequisites. You ain't take 101 yet, you can't take 102, right? There's not a one-on-one with Jesus. It's do you want to follow or not? It's not a prerequisite. I love that language. It's so clear. No, it's a result. That if the model of your life is I'm going to follow Jesus, the result is that you will change. You will grow. Those ugly parts of your life will begin to get rooted out. The things that you are not proud of. The things, watch this, that you think actually should hold you back from faith. The things that start to change because of your faith. Because you started to follow. And this is crazy. But did you know that you could actually follow in the footsteps of Jesus before you fully believe? I mean, just roll with me for a second. The disciples, they didn't fully know who he was yet. They knew he was something different, needed some miracles, but they didn't fully know. In fact, when he died, they were terrified because they thought it was over. Before he rose 3 days later, they had no idea who they were really dealing with, but they followed. Because there was enough there was enough curiosity, there was something there was something different. You can follow, you can take some steps even before you fully believe. and you changing and you cleaning yourself up and you getting your sin right, man, it's not a prerequisite. You can't. None of us can. No, it's a result of following the Savior of the world. So, if you're a Jesus follower, a couple thoughts I want to throw at you as we land the plane tonight. First, I want to encourage you for a second. If you are following Jesus, you need to know that changing is a process. It's called sanctification. It's a fancy word for growing into the image of Jesus. And you need to know that it's a process. Can I speak to the Jesus follower for a second? Like, if you've ever felt shame because you've messed up again, like you promised yourself you wouldn't and you did. Or there's still stuff that you're struggling with and you're like, man, how am I still struggling with this? How is this still a part of my life? How is this insecurity still real? Like, I don't understand. Is there something wrong with my faith? Is there something wrong with me? Have you ever been to a point where like, oh man, it happened again and you felt so much shame that you couldn't even pray? You felt so much shame that there was even a part of you that didn't want to come back to church because you just think, man, God's just done with me. Can I just be real with you? I certainly have, and I probably will again. I mean, there are moments, if I be real, there are just moments where I'm like, why am I leading a church? Just being real. And it's in those moments that the Spirit of God reminds me, when I slow down long enough to let Him speak to my heart, this is a process. Perfection is never the goal. It's impossible this side of heaven. But progress and process, change is a result of following, and following is a lifelong activity. Second, for the Jesus follower, this is for me and for you, for both of us. We're going to be challenged by this together. Can we stop putting unnecessary obstacles in the way of people that don't know Jesus yet? Even if they're just in your mind and in your heart and they never leave your mouth, but they dictate the way that you see people. They dictate the way you interact with people. They dictate the way that you view people and judge them silently in your hearts. Can we, like, together, and I'm just so bad at this because compassion isn't natural, it's not really natural for anybody, but like my wife, this is way more natural for her. Jesus is further along in growing her than he is me. For some people, it's just, but man, I just want to be able to see people the way Jesus sees people all the time, no matter what, no matter the wrong, no matter the sin, no matter the ugly, no matter the story, no matter what they've done to me or to someone that I love. I want to see people the way Jesus did. And then, if you're not a Jesus follower, can I just tell you, you don't have to believe me, but maybe you'll just be curious. Just need you to hear me say this. Jesus is not trying to rip you off. He's trying to set you free. Like for some of you, like we think Jesus is going to restrict us, but come on, isn't it so true? There are things in your life that have been restricting you from the life you've always wanted, and you keep going back to that thing, you keep going back to this, you keep going back to him, you keep going back to her, and like there's literally nothing that seems to be fixing what you feel like is wrong. Can I just tell you, Jesus isn't here to try to hold you back. No, he wants to free you up for life to the full. He wants to free you up, not to a perfect life, but to a life where you can experience purpose, where you can experience hope, where you can experience grace, where you can experience not having to try to perform for everybody, but know that there's grace that forgives your shortcomings. Like in Matthew, can I just tell you, Jesus sees more in you than maybe you do. Jesus sees more in you than other people maybe ever have. And he's not worried about the sin. He's not worried about the struggle. He's not worried about the secret. He's not worried about the story because it can't be too bad. It can't be too dirty, and you can't be too broken, because with Jesus, there's nobody unreachable. There's nobody unredeemable. There's nobody untouchable. No, he came to get into the mess for you and for me. And for all of us, the same grace that sustains us as Jesus followers, the same grace that forgives you. It's the same grace that forgives your sins. Like it's all by grace, all the time. Nothing we've ever done to earn it or deserve it. No. Really, for all of us, we were all at the tax collector's booth. And sometimes even us, even me, we kind of slide back into collecting taxes. But it's grace. And the invitation to follow is available to you and to me. Not because you earned it, not because you deserved it, but because Jesus came to invite you to follow. And if you feel like you have been and feel like you've messed it up, you haven't. If you feel like you're too far behind to catch up, it's not true. He's available. He's accessible to you. And I want to close with this thought. Jesus, he doesn't come to give rules to dictate your life. It's bigger than that. It's better than that. Jesus came to offer a relationship that would change your life. Yes, there are ways in which Jesus has called us to live, but it's because it's what's best for you. In the same way that I want my kids to be safe and healthy and to prosper, there are ways that I parent them and things that I don't let them do because it's not good for them, even if they don't know it. Samantha doesn't understand that you can't stick things in an electrical socket. But I do. He didn't come just to give you rules to dictate your life. It's bigger than that. He came to offer you a relationship, to show you a way to truth, to life, to freedom, to offer you a relationship that if you let it, would change your life forever. But here's the beauty of it, and here's what should hit different for every single person in this room. It doesn't start because you change. The result of that relationship is that you and I will change and grow into the people that God has created us to be, and the best possible versions of ourselves for a world looking for a proper reflection of the heart of God. Let me pray for you. Heavenly Father, would you give us eyes to see Jesus tonight for who he really is? Would you remind our spirits? Would you refresh our minds to the goodness of Jesus, to the glory of Jesus, to the grace of Jesus? Would you open up our hardened hearts to his invitation to follow, to surrender? Would you prod our curiosity just a little bit more? Would you give us the courage? Would you give us the courage to ask the difficult questions? Would you give us the courage to see people in the world through the lens of Jesus? And would you give us eyes and the heart to believe tonight that because of Jesus, you see us as we are, you accept us, and you invite us, but you love us too much for us to stay that way. We love you. We're grateful for grace, and it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Stand and sing one more song in response. I've been strong and I've been broken within a moment. I've been faithful and I've been reckless at every bend. I've held everything together and watched it shatter. I stood tall and I have crumbled in the same breath. I have wrestled and I have trembled towards surrender. Chased my heart adrift and drifted home again. Plundered blessing till I've been desperate to find redemption. Every time I turn around, Lord, you're still there. And I was found before I was lost, and I was yours before I was known. There's grace to spare for all my mistakes.
somehow, this kind of love is who you are. It's a grace I could never write, to be somebody you still want. But somehow, you love me as if
Man, what a start to 2022. Gosh, I don't know, for some of you in the room tonight, I don't know where you're at when it comes to your relationship with the Lord and what you thought about Jesus walking in, but man, I hope tonight, I pray tonight that something just hit different about who Jesus is in your life. You see, our hope, my hope for you is that you would be able to walk throughout the rest of this year, and by the end of this year, you would find yourself closer to Jesus than you've ever been before. That's what we hope here at TLR. And man, one of the ways that you guys can do that, one of the ways that you can begin to discover more of who Jesus is like is through community. And we have a ton of options to get involved here with community at the living room. We actually have small groups that meet like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. They're going to be meeting tonight in just a few minutes. And while we're not going to do a full community group launch tonight. If you're interested in being in a small group, if that's something that maybe you missed out on or something, we want to do our best. We want to try our hardest to get you plugged in to a small group. And so that's a potential option for you to get plugged in here at TLR. Another option that I'm actually really excited about that we're starting tonight is we're doing something called a pop-up group. Every Wednesday night that we have a service, we're going to do a pop-up group in the next room across in the rotunda. And basically, a pop-up group is literally open to anyone that wants to come. It's co-ed. It's going to be time to hang out. It's a time to get to know potentially some new students. If it's your first time here, you want to know some students. You came by yourself. You want to get to know some other students at TLR. Perfect opportunity. But we're just going to launch into a conversation. We're going to get to know each other a little bit, but then we're going to launch into a conversation of what we just heard tonight and what we hear in the messages week in and week out. So we're starting that tonight pop-up group right across the rotunda. We'll get started right after service. If that's something that you're interested in, come hang out. Come say, hey, KP and I are going to be leading that together. And the third option, and I'm so excited about this, especially if you're new to faith, if you're new to church, you're coming back to church for the first time in a really long time. I'm really excited about this option. Starting in February, we're going to launch our first ever TLR Starting Point group. And what a starting point group is something that our church does collectively, but we've never done it at TLR before. And basically, starting point is a 4-week small group. 4 weeks, that's all it is, where you get to have a conversation about faith. No question is off limits in starting point. And so if you're new to faith, if you have questions about God, I mean, who doesn't, right? But if that's where you're at, I encourage you to sign up for our starting point group, which will be launching on February 9th. You can find all that info and the link in our bio, so feel free to check that on Instagram. But the second thing I've got for you is this. Hey, if you're ever been interested in like working at church or doing ministry or just giving an idea like what that looks like, we have an internship program. And we've got some incredible interns. Thad and Lauren are somewhere around here. Some of you guys might know them. But we have interns that work all across the different ministry areas of our church, and we currently have applications are open that you can submit if you're interested in being an intern around here. And so you'll find this link in our bio, but it's mpleadershipexperience.com. It's an unbelievable experience. Even if you don't want to do ministry, but you just love TLR, you love Woodstock City, it would be an unbelievable thing to do next year. And the last thing is this, you don't want to miss next week. We have a giveaway for everyone who comes for part 2 of That Hits Different. Hey, we love you guys so much. I'll see you in the pop-up group if you want to hang out there. We'll see you next week.